Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first podcast I am doing on my own since the comeback. The comeback, the back. I'm back, bruh. I'm back. Hope y'all motherfuckers is happy, because I'm happy to be back. Um, Honestly, this is more. I bring you guys a lot of, topics and shit within this podcast. I've never really made this podcast personal. I'm never like, oh, this is what the fuck's going on with me, but recently I've felt like there has been a lot of stuff that's, well, not a lot of stuff, just one specific thing that I don't know. Whenever it happens to me, I always like to talk about it. Just, I don't know. I feel like it's my way of venting, just my way of getting it out there. And I don't know. So this is like the this is like the this is a podcast, but this is gonna be a long story, a very long story. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys are strapped up for this. This is gonna be pretty long. I won't even tell the story. You know what? Let's just talk about relationships. Yeah, that was the whole big thing. My relationship. I'm not in one. And it's been a while since I've been in one. Um, it's been a long while since I've been in one. Um, I don't know. Like it's it's been very difficult or very different from what I'm used to, or not what I'm used to, but more the sense of like I don't know what to do, like I'm very outgoing. I'm the type of dude, like I'm not even gonna hype myself up, and I'm not even gonna give you, the description of biography that I put, on like freaking match.com and shit. Not saying I have one, but ladies, if you find me on match.com now. No, I'm kidding. Um but I mean, like, yeah, like I feel like there has been opportunities with girls, and I've messed them up. I've legit been like, I fucked it up. But there's also been opportunities with a girl where I feel like possibly she probably fucked it up. And I'm not saying that's like, shit. We about to talk some shit. No. Contrary, very contrary. I just feel like there's a lot of, things here within this episode of the podcast that I'm like, you know what? Maybe just this specific story. So there's this I don't want to say anything, just because like I don't want to name drop. I don't want to do none of that shit, because it, I respect her to a certain, like, I like this chick. I like her. I like her a lot, to the point where, like, I feel fucked up not replying to her right now. I feel very fucked up not replying to her right now. I miss her, I like her. And that's not a bad thing. That's never a bad thing, liking someone. But the thing is, I feel as though. So here's the thing. Here's the sitch. Like, I'm Kim Possible and shit. She, I met her when I was like a freshman. I was ending my freshman year. It was the summer of my freshman year. That's when I met her, right? She was friends with like, um, this like not even blood cousin that I have. Um, because she's like a step, like I'm cousins with her, but not really cousins with her through my stepdad, so it's not blood, but like we're still fam, whatever. Anyways, and that's how I met her, right? And we started talking, started texting, and I fell for this chick. I legit fell for this chick. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be like, nah, man, I was like crushing on her, but no. I liked her. I liked her, and I didn't tell her until later on, when I was in my sophomore year, and it was like October-ish. And this is when I told her, I was like, hey, I kind of like you and shit. And she was just like, I like you too, and like, we decided technically to date. And I say technically because, well, I'm skipping the story. I'm skipping something. You know what? Let me just tell the story to its entirety. I might as well just not jump ship. I'm not gonna jump shit. If I remember something, I'm gonna jump back to that, and I'm gonna tell the story the way it's supposed to be. So I met her, right? Through the whole summer, we're texting, we're talking, like, it's a lot of texting more than anything, and I think, like, it was cool, it was fun. And then I started school, she started school, and what the hell happened? Like, um, fuck, like, we were still talking, and then there was a dance that came up at her school, right? And she didn't know I was showing up, but I showed up, right? I show up, and I'm like, all right, cool, but like, I didn't show up for her per se because I didn't know she was going either. I just showed up to have fun. And when I saw her, I was like, oh, hey. And she was like, oh, hey. And like, this is the first time we've met. We've never really, like, we've met in person. And it wasn't awkward, but like, I was like, yeah, like, like, I told her, I was like, I legit like you, like, legitimately, I legit like you. And she was, I don't, from what I remember, she had like a face of like, whoa, like, he really does like me, but do I like him? It was her face, and she was like, look, come back to me later on tonight and I'll tell you, I'll tell you my response. And I was like, okay. Honestly, I didn't do anything later that night. Like, well, within the dance, like, I didn't dance with anyone. I just like sat down, like, I was just chilling, like, and I was so excited for her response. And I was like, yeah, like, she might say yes, like, she might legit say yes, and that's awesome. This is great. She's gonna say yes. She says no, and she's like, it's just because I forgot what she said, that she was just like a no, and I was like, okay. I remember I called my mom, and I'm like, yo, come pick me up earlier than I said, because, yeah. Like, my mom was pissed. My mom was like, what the fuck? Like, don't even talk to her anymore since she did you like that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I guess. I was like, I don't know. And I legit think we did stop talking for like a cool month or something. And then we started talking again. Like, we started talking again. This is like September, mind you. And then we started talking again, right? Like, you know what? No, we didn't stop talking. We kept talking because during October, they had another dance. And I went to that shit. I went to that dance. And she was there. But this time we legit, we were like, all right, are you gonna go? It's like, yeah. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go. And, we were both gonna go. And, she's a senior. She's a senior, mind you. So, we, before this happened, actually, we're texting, right? And, like, I finally asked her out. I'm like, yo, do you want to, like, yeah, do you want to legit be my girlfriend? And, like, she was like, all right, give me a day, And I was like, all right, I'll give you a day. Give her a day, and I'm like, so? And she's like, yeah, for sure. I'm like, okay, cool, And I was legit happy, and I was like, yeah, like, awesome. This only lasted about a week because I got the worst luck ever, and my mom didn't pay the phone bill, our cell phone bill at the time, right? So, like, I couldn't text her, and since I didn't have my phone, I couldn't get on the internet. So, like, it was a trip. It was really like, it was like, oh shit. When I finally did get my phone again, she like, I texted her and like she seemed very different, and I was like, oh, okay, like this is weird, you know. And what the fuck happened? And you know, and then like the whole Halloween thing happened. So then like I'm like, yo, what's up? You know, like, are we gonna go? And she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, all right, cool, 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 right? So I go, and um, I go. She's like doing an event, so like I gotta wait for her, right? And then like I pull up, and I had bought her like this fucking like bracelet or something, right? Like this, like it's funny because like I bought her this bracelet from like, I forgot, like I got it like from like the liquor and like, no, not the liquor, like I bought it from like a legit like little place around my town and shit, like, yeah, like right around the corner. I bought it and I was like, oh, this is cool, all right, cool, you know. I was like, yeah, I'll give her this, you know. So when we get there, I'm like, oh, hey, I have your gift. And I give her a gift, right? I'm like, so what do you want to talk about? And she's like, we gotta break up. And I'm like, oh no. Why? She's like, because I got mixed emotions about you and shit. You know, she was like, you know, she was like, this other dude's telling her that he likes her, this other dude. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was like, I guess. Like, I didn't fight it, you know? Like, I was just like, okay. And I legit just stayed the rest of the night with my cousin. And I was like, yeah, like, I was like, I guess. You know, or like, I'm like, yeah, like, the brother of that girl, right? And not fuck, okay. Fuck, that was confusing. All right, that was a dude that I knew there, and I was just chilling with him at the end of the night, right? I was just chilling with him because I didn't want to call my mom and be like, yo, come pick me up early, right? Because I was like, she gonna beat the shit out of me because it's the same fucking school. She gonna beat the shit out of me. So I stayed, and I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't even turn up. Like, I was like, yeah, whatever, it was okay. And I feel like during that time some other shit happened. Oh, okay, okay, okay. What also happened was she had she had written me two notes, right? One note where like it was like her and like her friends and shit. They had like sent me a note, like a Halloween thing, and like it was just like, I I kept it, but then like we'll get into why I threw it away later. But like, yeah, I still had it, and like, fucking, I forgot what it said, right? Like, oh, I can't wait to meet you, or can't wait to see you and shit like that. I was like, cool, 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 you know, like I was happy about this. And then the Halloween thing happened, and then I think I had also gotten a letter from her, but this was, I want to say, in between both of these events, right? And it was just like, or not in between these events, but in between the first and the second dance, where she legit wrote me a letter like, hey, like, I forgot what the fuck she wrote in this letter, and I was pissed off the whole day. Like, I was like, wow. I was like, she has my number. She could have just fucking texted me. I was like, this is bullshit. I was like, she legit, there was a tree killed just to give me this news. I was like, wow. Poor tree. Fucking wasted ass tree. Like, I was heated, yo. I was so pissed. Like, I was like, wow. I guess, you know. And then, you know, like, some time went by, and I think, was I still a sophomore? Fuck, like, I don't even, I want to say I was. Or was I a junior? No, I was still a sophomore. I was still a sophomore when I started dating this other girl, right? And this girl, longest relationship I've ever been in and shit. And I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm getting a little farther away from the microphone. Hello, give me a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I was just getting like comfy and shit. And this girl I had been with for a while, like almost a year and shit. And I can't remember if she came back into my life at that point. I want to say she did. Yeah, okay. So, like, what happened here was like, okay, so let's say the main girl about this story is, let's say her name is, her name's Kat. Alright, her name's Kat. The girl I'm dating at this point is, what's the girl I'm dating at this point? Her name's, let's call her Egg. Alright, Egg. Alright, and we'll get into that later. And there's a few other chicks, but this is just within this story. Oh, and there's another one. She is never gonna hear about this shit. So honestly, I don't give a fuck. It was Tiff. She gets in this picture later, and then there's another one. We'll just call her Juju. She knows who she is. I think she listens. I'm not sure, but that's Juju. She's cool. I don't talk with her anymore, but she's cool. Anyways, alright. So I was dating. Nah, I don't want to say I was dating Egg. Let's say I was just dating E. Alright, so I was dating E, right? I was dating E for a while. And I wasn't talking to Kat for a long time. And I started talking with Juju. And what the fuck happened? Me and E took a break. And me and Juju started talking a lot more. And, like, we caught feelings within that time, and like it was a break, you know, like legit. I was like Ross off of Friends, you know. I was like, it was a break. The fuck do you want me to do? You know, that's not my fault. You set me up for failure. It's a break, you know. Like if you tell me if we're dating and I get a text that's like, yo, we need a break, I'll be like, okay, you'll get your break. You will get your break. I will not text you. I will not call you. I will not do shit. I will stay away, you know, because that's what a break is. A break is just, you know, break from us. And yeah, and you know, that's what I did. But that doesn't necessarily mean I can't talk to other people, you know. And within this time, this is where we find out, hey, can you live without the other person, you know? And legit, I was like, yeah, I kind of can. Or, you know, can you be without this other person, not live without this other person? What you know what the fuck I mean. Anyways, so what was going on was Ed, what the fuck? Where the fuck did Ed come from? Shit. Me and E got back together, then broke up, then got back together, then broke up, then got back together, then broke up, then like it was a long ass. That was long as fuck. That wasn't even like, that wasn't what it was planned for. That's just what happened, yo. And what happened? When we finally did break up, me and Juju, we were just, I don't know, we stopped talking at the same time, you know, like I don't know, like she felt like fuck, like she didn't feel right talking to me because I was with her. I was with E, you know, and she was like, like, I can't, you know. But at the same time, she did want to talk, you know, we've talked about this. She did want to talk to me because, like, she did like me, you know, and I get it. Well, anyways, so what was going on was, after me and E broke up, it was a while, right? It was maybe like, we would have broken up during the summer, right? No, wait. Yeah, we broke up during the summer. We legit broke up during the summer. And the only reason I remember that was because that was when like shit started popping off with some other stuff that I was doing. So, but yeah. We broke up during the summer. And Hadn't talked to Kat in like a while, but you know, Kat was still in my membrane. You know, I was like, man, like, I wonder what she's up to, you know, and shit like that. And then, fucking, gosh, what the fuck happened, yo? Okay, so like 3 months later, around, we broke up. No, not 3 months later. A year later. Yeah, a year later. Not 3 months later. A year later. A year later. In my junior year. Yeah, it was my junior year. Hey, what the fuck? How did this work? Was it a year later? Shit, Jesus Christ. Nah, it wasn't a year later, because then that wouldn't make sense. It was a fuck, what the fuck dates were these? Jesus, yo. I'm a junior, let's just say that. And it's been a while since I've been on the saddle, you know, since I've been on the dating scene, you know. I'm a junior now. So all that shit happened while I was a sophomore and I was going into my junior year. Yeah, that's what was going on. Anyway, so I'm a junior now, right? I'm like, fuck, I'm like, God, man, I feel old, like trying to remember and shit. So anyway, so I'm a junior now, right? And oh yeah. So I'm a junior, and I go to a homecoming game, and at the homecoming game, I meet Tiff. I talk with Tiff. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, do you remember me? We went to the same middle school. Sixth grade year. Anyways, went with her. I'm like, hey, do you remember me? She's like, kinda, not really. I'm like, well, you want to change numbers, like, you know, just so we can stay in contact. And it's like, okay. Gives me her number. Boom. Go back. Start texting that same day. We're talking. Blah blah blah. Hey. She says she got a boyfriend. I was like, fuck. Okay. That sucks a lot. But whatever, right? And you know, but we were still talking. We were still like, hey, how are you? Like, we would send each other, like, you know, like the smiley faces and shit like that, you know, and it was cool. And then, like, what happened was, like, what the fuck happened, yo? Like, so she was still with her boyfriend, and I was like, you know what? You're still with your boyfriend. I don't even wanna fuck with that, yo. Like, I really don't, you know. So, like, yeah. And I was like, I stopped talking with her, and, you know, I liked her though, you know, and I was like, whatever. And I was like, yeah. And I stopped talking with her, and I was like, cool, right? We start talking. I called her for her birthday. I legit, like, I waited until 12 and shit on a school night, and I called her. I'm like, hey, happy birthday. You know, I'm like singing and shit. I'm like, happy birthday to you and shit, right? And like, she's like giggling and shit. She's like, oh my gosh. It's like, I'm like, yeah, it's like, sorry I haven't talked to you, you know, but it's like, I just felt like this would be a cool birthday surprise. And she was like, it was, you know, and I was like, yay. And like, you know, I hung up, and I was like, man, still like her, yo. It's like, fuck. But she broke up with her boyfriend. I was like, slide into your DMs, like, but I gave it time, right? I was like, you know what? I'll give it time so she could get over him, and so I could, you know, so I could go in. And what was going on was, like, she didn't want to wait, you know. She kind of wanted me to ask really quick, but I was like, I want to wait, you know, just in case, you know, like, you never know, you know. And like, she was already feeling me, and we had already, this is like the moment in my age where I was like, I don't want to just jump into a relationship. I actually want to date a girl, see if we're, compatible and shit, Like, one date doesn't hurt, and it never will. But, so we went on like 2 dates as a non-couple. One was to the movies. We went to go see Warm Bodies. That experience, that was like, oh my god, like, you guys, shit was crazy, yo. Shit was crazy, bro. It was cool though. It was like, I don't know, I had like, oh my god, like, yeah, it was one of those kind of dates. And then we went to, where do we go? We went to a bonfire that my church was doing, and we went, and I thought it was kind of cool that, she went with me, because, yeah. Anyways, I was like, yeah, I'm a gangster, straight up Doug. Nah, that's not what happened. So, anyways, I'm not gonna skip anything. So what the fuck happens? So when I finally do ask her out, we dated for like 3-4 months or some shit. Yeah, it was short. It was short. It was short. It was short. You want to know why it was short? Because of bad shit, yo. I don't want to skip this story, because this is a story in its own. Like, this is its own story. That's why, like, I'm not even going into details of the date. Let's just say shit went down at a dance. Oh, I'm a senior, by the way, now. In this time that me and her have been dating, I'm a senior now. And, anyways, the fuck happened? Yeah, shit went down. Y'all don't need to know what went down, because, like I said, it's a separate story. I'll tell that story when, when shit comes up, like, I'm not gonna tell that story now. I'm tell it later. If y'all want that to be the next podcast, let me know in the comments below. Ooh, bam. So anyway, so broke up, right? I'm like done. I'm like, bam, cool, whatever. I'm single forever. But during the time me and Tiff were talking, guess who hits me up? Kat. She hits me up with the Snapchat, like, or with the text, and then we add each other on Snapchat. It was like, hey. It's like, oh, hey, like, what are you doing? It's like, nothing. I'm taking like selfies and shit, right? She's like, you got cuter. And I was like, I didn't know how to respond. I was like, oh, really? And then she responded with, oh, but how old are you? Because, like, she was always, I don't know, that was one of the reasons she never really wanted to get with me, was because of age. She always thought she is older. She's like 2 years older, dude. But whatever. Yeah, so she hit me up with that, right? And I was like, alright, that's cool as fuck. And then me and Tiff break up. And then it's a while. For a while I was just single, right? I wasn't talking to anybody. I was just on me, I was focusing more on me. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for me, cause it's me. Cause yeah, like, I don't know, I was just doing me. Felt like that was the right thing to do for a while. And then I started talking with Katrina a lot. Shit, fuck. Y'all didn't hear shit. Y'all didn't hear shit. God damn it. That's why I didn't want to put no nicknames, because I knew I was going to do some shit like that. Y'all didn't hear shit. Alright, anyways, I started talking to Kat a lot. And it brought back, not old memories, but like old feelings, feelings that never really left. Like, anyways, we started talking, right? Started talking again, started texting, and we're on the phone. And I'm like, so why was it that we never got together? And she was like, to be honest, I did like you, but it was just, your age and shit. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I'm gonna be 18 soon, I was like, well, what are we gonna do? She was like, okay, once you're 18, I'll give you a shot. I'm like, awesome. Awesome. And then when I turned 18, like a week before I turned 18, she hits me up and I'm like, hey, and she's like, hey, it's like, you're gonna be 18 soon, huh? I'm like, yeah. It's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, nothing. I have no plans. She's like, let's go to a strip club. I'm like, alright, for sure. The day, like, a few days before my B-day, I hit her up. I'm like, hey. She's like, hey. It's like, your B-day's coming up. I'm like, yep. She's like, any plans? I'm like, well, besides me and you going to the strip club, I don't think so. She's like, oops, sorry, I can't. I got plans. I was like, okay. And then we just kept texting, right? And we're texting. She's telling me about this guy she doesn't like. It was like a lot of shit, right? I'm not gonna go into what we were talking about. And then recently, she what is it that happens? Like, I forgot what, like, I do this like psychological test with her, and like it turns out like we're both depressed, right? And like it was to see if you were depressed or not. And I was like, what? I was like, that's a trip. And then like she was like, what are you depressed about? I was like, a lot of shit, a lot of personal shit. And then I was like, but you too. And she was like, why me? And like I was like, cause dude, look, I'm legit read you the messages, right? I'm gonna read you guys the messages. Yo, so you guys understand what the fuck, like what went down, right? Cause that's shit I do, yo. Okay, hold up. Okay. So test, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, you. And she's like, me. I'm like, yeah, you. LOL. And she's like, why? How? I'm like, cause, cat, I really fucking like you. Like, for real. Legit, I got happy when we text. I get happy when we text. I'm not happy when we aren't. And she's like, a while back you said you love me. I'm like, you get what I'm saying. Like, in which way? What do you mean? You like me in what way? I'm like, in the way that if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. If you need a break from home, I'm already heading over. I like you in the way that Kanye loves himself. She's like, that still doesn't answer my question. I'm like, that did though. Your question is asking for examples of what way I like you. Just explain how I like you. I just do. You mean a lot to me. She's like, I still don't get it. I'm like, how do you not get it? Why don't you get it? She's like, I'm not sure if that means you love me like a best friend or more than that. I'm like, honestly, I don't know how you wouldn't know. She's like, that's not helping. I'm like, I know it's not. And I'm sorry for throwing this on you. Wasn't my intent. You're someone I love as a friend. And more than that, I don't know how to say it or show it through text. She's like, try. I'm like, honestly, I don't know what to say or how to start. She's like, go. This is the long fucking text. This is one of the longest fucking texts I send her. I'm like, you're important to me. In every sense of that phrase. You help me go through shit, give me solid advice, but you are there when I need you. And I feel it's the same way from my end, I hope. I trust you a lot. I'm lost for words here because, well, I thought it was obvious I liked you. I thought I annoyed you because of my crush on you back then. I didn't hit you up because you're busy and I just want to give you space. I never really tried to open up well because I was afraid of getting rejected or getting rejected for another person like before. I never cared for you for your past because I know you wouldn't judge me on mine. I remember stuff that you said and it makes me smile when I'm having a rough day. Maybe you don't know that feeling with me, but I feel like there is always a chance with you, but you refuse it. I never got why we haven't had a relationship before. I'm not as happy as when I text you, but to end all of this, I love you, Kat. I'm more than you may possibly know. She's like, one more question, one more question. At the time, Edison was working on my electricity in my neighborhood, so I couldn't charge my phone. So I had to turn it off. Well, I had to put it on airplane mode, lower the brightness, and leave my alarm on for work the next day. I hit her up, and it doesn't legit answer anything. And this is where it goes. It goes. Let's go from here. I asked her on Saturday at I'm not even gonna say in the afternoon. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? She's like, nothing. I'm like, that's lame. Let's go out. She's like, I got plans later. I'm like, lame. She's like, yep. I'm like, what are you doing? Blah 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 blah. And she's like, so I've been thinking. I'm like, what have you been thinking? She's like, about what you told me. I'm like, and she's like, I want to tell you how I feel. I'm like, so she's like, I'm like, okay, cool. Cause I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, so you realize I don't share the same feelings, right? And this is like where my emotions were like, fuck, all help is lost. Fuck. All hope is lost. Fuck. 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 Right? So this is how I reply. Honestly, I'm always gonna know that. No matter how much I do like you, it just won't be the same back. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, to be honest, I know me and you are never gonna be a thing. I wish we were. I really do. Example. No matter how much you tell a puppy you don't like it, or kick it, or throw it, it's always going to come back because it feels at home. She's like, why though? I'm like, why do I think like that? I'm like, this is the text I sent. Long ass text too. Well, I mean, it's kind of true. Like, maybe at one point, only you know. Yeah, you did like me, but the other times it's just been me falling for you over and over and over again. I can't hide my feelings, and I can't force myself not to like you, and I can't force you into it. I get it, if you like me as a friend, but honestly, I don't think being friends with you works for me. I try, trust me, I do, but it's when I get a text from you that I'm like, hey, look, someone cares. I'm sorry for being so negative or for sharing this and making you feel bad or something. And she just replies with no. And I'm like, no? What's the no for? Yo, what's the no for? She's like, yeah, no. I'm like, what's the no for? She's like, because no. I'm like, that was the point where I was like, whatever, fuck it. I'm done with texting her, right? And I just didn't text her that after that. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever. I didn't text her. On Tuesday, she's like, what are you doing? I didn't reply. Yesterday, she was like, Dylan. I didn't reply. She sends another text. She's like, you always reply. Are you good? I didn't reply. Today, she's like, Dylan, I'm going to blow up your phone until you reply, okay? Now I'm just going to send random shit. Starts doing the alphabet. she does the 100, 100, 100 little emoji, puts a little sad face, or like the little crying face, like surprise face as well. She's like, reply. She's like, this isn't funny at all. And then she puts like the little like pissed off face or whatever. And that's it. This is where the story ends. Well, not ends, but has been halted to. I don't know what to do. I like her, you know, like, I want to text her back. But I feel like right now, she's just done this too many times where my brain is like, don't be stupid, yo. Like, she's fucked you over. Don't do it, yo. Don't do it. And I want to, you know, I want to be like, hey, or like, the reason why I'm not texting her, you know, to be like, I'm blocking you out for a cool second. Don't trip. But at the same time, I'm like, maybe she deserves this shit. Maybe she needs to know what I felt like when I would text her and she wouldn't reply. I don't know, you know, like, the shit is too, though, like, I feel like there was someone else I fucked up with. And like, I fucked up with, you know, like, I feel like this one was on me, where I shouldn't have done what I did. And the only reason I did what I did was because of shit with Kat. Like, there was a girl that I was into, right? And she was into me. She was older than me. All these girls are fucking older than me. I don't know why. They just are, yo. And I guess I got pissed off that, like, she was like, you're so young. I was like, I don't know. Like, shit just went, like, I was like, as soon as she said that, I was like, another cat. Another cat, yo. And I got so fucking mad. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, dude, you like me, I like you. This doesn't fucking make sense. I'm like, if we like each other, we might as, like, what the fuck, yo? Like, I don't know, like, I don't know, yo. I mean, I got other shit going on in my life. I don't want to open up about it just because, you know, like, just because right now, that's not what I want to talk about. You know, I want to talk about this first. And I don't know, yo. I don't know what to do. Maybe you guys know what to do, you know? But with this situation, I'm kind of lost, yo. Like, should I text her back? Should I not? Should I let bygones be bygones? Let her know why I'm not texting back? I miss her a lot. If she's hearing this, I want her to know that I don't even know what I want her to know. I don't know. I'll get myself fucking depressed if I keep thinking like this, yo. I gotta hype myself up. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys have better luck with your relationships than I'm having right now. If you're in a relationship, let that person know you love them. If you're not in a relationship and you're crushing on someone, let that person know you like them. if if you're single as fuck like me and you have no one to tell, there's always Netflix, yo. There's always Netflix. Thank you guys for listening to the You Ain't Gotta Worry About It podcast. Although after this, you guys might worry about me, but you ain't gotta worry about it, yo. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Hood Ninja, at Hood _Ninja _Dill. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. Bye.